this is an interesting predicament we have found ourselves in. I say we, but he's on the ground, so it's more of an interesting predicament for him. But for us as boxing fans, MMA fans, for those of us like me that are both, first of all, before we get into it, this is another win on my record of predictions. I only have one loss, Josh Taylor versus Teofimo Lopez. Everything else I've been super duper accurate on, including this fight. People were talking about, oh, look at what he did to Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is better than AJ. So therefore, when Francis Ngannou steps in, he's going to blah, 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 you know, the whole spiel. And it's understandable why someone would say that, but it obviously wasn't a good line of argumentation, which is why the fight turned out the way it did. Styles make fights. What does that mean? Well, that means just because, like, let's say Anthony Joshua is a worse fighter than Tyson Fury. Let's say that is the case, and Francis Ngannou arguably beat Tyson Fury. A styles make fights means that despite who's supposed to be better, the outcome is dependent on the tools either man brings to the table. AJ's a great counterpuncher. The entire pre-fight breakdown was about AJ's counterpunching and about how Francis Ngannou was going to run into some counters, and he's either going to get beat by a clean decision or he's going to get stopped later. That's the part of my prediction that was wrong. I said I don't think AJ will knock Francis Ngannou out cold, but if you look at what's on the screen, I was wrong there. However, what I was right about was talking about counterpunching, because if you look at when Francis was getting flattened right before he gets put out cold, he jumps in with that jab, overextends, pull counter. I was like, oh, those pull counters from AJ, the step back counters, he's really good at those, and he's very accurate. And that's what he did. He was touching up that chin. And it was also quite strange how people talk about Ngannou's power, which Ngannou probably does hit harder than Anthony Joshua. But they would talk about Ngannou's power and they would forget that he's in the ring with Anthony Joshua, who was knocking out everybody not too long ago. And he knocked out this person not too long ago, being a few minutes ago. So I think this is a great wake-up call for MMA fans to put a little bit more respect on boxing's name, and particularly skilled boxers. And particularly the change in styles affecting the outcome of fights. This is an example of styles make fights. Yes, Tyson Fury is good with his feints on the outside and stuff like that, but his tools weren't enough to disturb, upset, and punish Francis Ngannou. AJ, on the other hand, has the athleticism, the reflexes, the speed, the accuracy, the power, the precision, the timing, and the IQ to punish Francis Ngannou for the mistakes he was making, and Tyson Fury couldn't do that. Not necessarily because Tyson Fury is a worse boxer, but because Tyson Fury doesn't have the type of style in boxing to punish Francis the way that AJ did. Styles make fights. A calm counterpuncher shuts down a wild card warrior. And again, put some respect on AJ's name, because I don't want the narrative to change and people to pretend like they weren't, especially the MMA community, to pretend like they weren't saying AJ was going to get ran through. AJ can't do this, AJ can't do that. AJ showed what the hell he can do, and he can knock people out, including Francis Ngannou, who has a great chin. Well, I don't know about now. Hopefully he still has a great chin, because I still like Francis. I always like Francis. I'm always gonna like Francis, but I do like this KO too. It's just it's a lot that we're going to talk about, but I do want to bring attention to the fact that yes, my prediction was good. I will take credit. I take credit when I have bad predictions, but the bad part of my prediction was the flatline KO. Everything else was on point. But yeah, this is added to the record, and we're finna get into the analysis. So look forward to that next video. Like this video to help spread the science, and then we'll go from there. I'll see y'all later. Immortality Serum out. See y'all in a few, probably an hour or so, to drop the analysis.